All right, good morning, y'all. Welcome to the Coffee Run with John from ProCraps on Casino Gaming TV. Gary is still trying to recover from that rollout this morning. That was one of the epically bad rollouts I've ever had, I think. Perfect storm. I'm like, hey, let's go out with the horsemen. And it worked great. I had a feeling, I was telling Jen this after the show, like I had a feeling today was going to be a bad one. I didn't sleep at all last night. I was up literally all night last night. Just whatever. My knee is killing me and I couldn't sleep. And so I woke up and I'm like, I just don't feel like doing it. I almost didn't do a show today. I almost canceled it because I was like, I'm just so tired and so cranky and in pain. I'm like, screw it. I'll go out there and do it. And I even said at the start of the show, I feel like it's going to be a bad one today. Started out bad, but we were okay because we were on the horseman and had that one nice little roll. I thought, okay, maybe I'm getting back in my groove. I go out there and plank my whole bet, PSO the next guy, and like, Bob's your uncle, you lose everything out there. Some days it ain't like that. It ain't right. Now, we talked yesterday about gambler's fallacy, right? There's no math that supports what I just said, right? There's no math out there that supports me saying, I don't feel good today, we shouldn't play, right? Remember the bags, right? The marbles in the bag thing. There's still the same number of marbles in that bag. I still had an 80% chance to hit an across bet today, regardless of how shitty I felt. Some days you just feel too crappy to do it and you should just stay inside. Like there's karma's a thing, right? And it's like, some days you just got to stay home. Like I just didn't feel like doing it and it would have been a day not to play. But anyway, I played anyway because, I'm that guy. How do we do? We got our ass kicked. If you didn't watch that show this morning, we got our asses handed to us. I lost $4,000 this morning in about 15 seconds, it seemed like. So anyway, let's get to our regular show here and talk through what's going on. I'm a little hoarse. I'm sorry. Like I said, I haven't slept in about 30 something hours. So I'm a little bit here. So forgive me as we go through the show today. What's happening out there? Well, the shooter's tourney is in full swing. We've got over half the qualifiers have gone. We're in round of 32. So 19 guys have thrown in the second round here. There are 2 going today. I might go today or tomorrow. We'll see. 17 right now is the midline. So you got to get 17 at this point. Of the 19 shooters, shooter number 9 has got a 17. So that's the midpoint of where we are right now. If that scale holds true, it's going to take 15 to get through. So good luck to everybody who's got to go. Good luck. It's good. That's a high bar to set. I think there's 2 guys. I think Kevin Carpenter's going tonight with DGen. I meant to ring up Chris or Jeff here and go tonight or tomorrow. We'll see. Like I said, going from the right side of the table today, I thought I'd switch up, and I have done so poorly this whole week from the right side. It's been just a terrible week. So I'm not sure I ever want to throw again in that tournament. We'll see. Look at you guys and trust my instincts. Trust my instincts, right? Totally should have trusted my instincts this morning, right? I knew it. I walked out there, and the first thing I said this morning was, we're going to get donked today. Didn't I say that? I was setting the bets up, and I'm like, some days, I said, the universe owes me an ass kicking. I said it in the beginning of the show. I just knew today was going to be that day. Again, there's no math to support that, but it just a sure confirmation bias that I said it was going to be a bad day, and it was. Anyway, this actually goes to a lot. A lot of things to talk about. Let me run into it a little bit. Here's where we are, by the way. I didn't change the number. We're minus 1190 for the week, for the month so far. We're 7-2 in April. Right, 2 losses this week. Both came this week, right? One was 4,000, one was 3,500. We got our butts handed to us twice this week, right? 7 wins, 2 losses, right? We're at the 80% win rate, but look at the losses. They're so big right now. And I think what I'm doing incorrectly, and today was a good example of it. Actually, both days were, right? We got the $4,000 to support that bigger bet. What I've been doing both times, we get slammed and I'm going back out again with the rest of I'm like rail dumping the second shot. I probably shouldn't do that, right? We probably should take that first loss and take that as our sign to get out of there. Those losses shouldn't be full bankroll losses. They should be kind of partial. To go back out and fight like that or fight the way we did was probably the bad decision. But anyway, we're down $2,000, 7-2. We're down $2,000 or $1,100. That's not great. And this goes to what I've been saying all along. And I think, how do I say this right let me actually go to the next screen here. Here's the totals, by the way. Winning a lot. We're winning a lot, right? our number here is 116 and 37, as you can see on screen. 116 and 37 is our record. We're 75.8% win rate. That's freaking good. That's really good. Now we are up. We're up $11,000 in strategy play. We're up 17K overall. So we're doing well, right? Winning a little bit a lot of the times is working here. But if you remember what I talked about yesterday, with this notion of, one person goes out to a roulette table and puts $100 on black. One person goes out there and puts $1 on black, and they both just play. The person with the big bet has a 50-50 shot of winning $100. The person with $1 will never win $100. That's kind of what the paycheck is showing us, right? Or what's kind of what the paycheck, the math guys, I know I've got guys that are rooting against me to get this thing done. What they're saying, and I hate to math guys sounds like a negative. It's not. It's the guys that I know are mathematicians and rely on that kind of stuff, right? I don't mean to say that as a negative. They're secretly, they want me to win because they like me as a person, but they want me to lose to prove the math, what we're saying here, right? That you will, trying to win a tiny bit every day, you'll never get to where you need to be, right? You need the big wins to get it done. And that's kind of what this shows here. If you go back one screen, it goes back to this one right here, right? We've won 7 times. We only lost twice, right? But the 2 losses were so much bigger compared to the size of the wins. Winning a little bit all the time, right? The big donk gets you, right? So trying to win 365 days in a row or 300 out of 365, you'll never really get to the thing. That's what this, I think what folks that are on the trust the math, you're never going to get there side of the fence would tell you, which is what I said yesterday, right? You're never going to get there trying to win small amounts all the time unless you augment those small things. And that's what we've done. We've taken $5,000 of our winnings have come from great runs that we've had after the paycheck. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. We have 116 wins, $11,000 in profit. If I actually, what is that? 11,002 or 11,711 divided by 116. Yeah, it's an average win of about $150, right, or whatever it is. It's not bad, but it's nothing to sing a song about, right? We need to make some money this coming week. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a second run. There you go. I've got a couple of PC questions I see just came rolling in here. So Dan says, trust the instinct, stop throwing from the right side of the stick. Whatever. I got, again, if you're a believer in the fact that you can throw the dice well, you should be able to throw from everywhere. I'm a firm believer that I'm not good enough from either side to make a difference. But if I was, I want to be able to, I want to be able to throw from everywhere. And if you remember, wind your clock back, Dan, in the last month, I think it was not this past month, but the month before that. So go back 2 months. I threw the whole month from the right side and we did great, right? Once I figured out what it felt like, I did really good from over there. So, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not doing dice sets. I'm just rhythm rolling anyway. So you're seeing what randomness does, right? This is how random works. And you have to kind of embrace that a little bit. So I'm okay with it. I don't like losing. I got mad today. I don't love it, but it is what it is. We have an 80% chance to win that bet, right? We're at 80%. We're doing exactly what we should be doing, right? We're exactly where we need to be in that strategy. So I'm fine with it. Dan also says the power of positive thinking. I think I'm having a losing day. I'll have a losing day. Yeah. You can manifest, right? Jen will agree. You can manifest things, right? You can make it bad. Today, I just knew, and honestly, if it was real life, I woke up feeling like I did today, I wouldn't have left the house, right? I wouldn't have gone, but there it is. There it is. There's no they, there's just one guy. You're talking about the math guys? No, there's 4 or 5 guys. I've got 4 or 5 people that I tinker with, in emails. It's not just JB. You got PJ Strong out there who's, he's an interesting cat. I think if I met PJ Strong, who we actually banned from this show because he was being such a jerk in chat. He's a guy that I think in person I would like a whole lot, right? We probably have great conversations. We probably enjoy a whiskey together, but his demeanor out here in chat wasn't very good, but he's a great guy. I mean, and smart dude. So is JB. Great guy, smart dude. Sometimes, right, doesn't come across well. Let's just say that doesn't come across well in the chats or the comments, but that's okay. It doesn't take away from the fact of how smart they are and how correct they are on these things, right? Sometimes, I do this every single day in front of you live, right? We do this all the time, and I succeed and I fail just as the math says I should. And I think that they're sitting back going, I told you it was going to happen, right? And we were talking about this yesterday about should I play the strategy mechanically or should I make some decisions with it? I think you've got to see these things happen in real time. You've got to see that, yeah, I was 7-1 coming into today and we were doing great. And eventually, right? Eventually it's going to happen, right? You're going to reach into that bag of marbles and that 1 out of 6 is going to be your thing. And today was the day we pulled out a black marble and we lost it, right? There's no dodging that, right? And as good as these strategies feel and as easy as it is to say, we'll get one hit and we'll take most of our money off that table and that second hit locks me in. It's easy to say that I can do it every day, but guess what? You can't. Today was a great example. You can't do it every day. So it's good to see it. It's good to feel it. It's all part of the data collection process. You've got to all see me do this and flail around. If you don't see me doing it, you're going to go out there thinking you can do it, right? And make fun of me all you want to for being a terrible thrower and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, this is the reality. This is the reality of it, right? I'm not going to hide. I say in the intro, I'm not going to hide from anything. It is what it is, right? And these things, you've got to see it. You got to see it happen and go, okay, he's actually been lucky to this point. It's at some point, the luck is going to run out, or the win is going to be loss before the next 5 or 6 wins. It just rhythm of the thing. So anyway, I think it's good to see it. It sucks to experience it, but it's good to see it. Anyway, Dan says, limit my losses. Don't burn the whole buy-in. Well, I agree-ish, right? What we've been saying we're going to do, and we made this switch about a month ago, was to go in there and say, well, if you're going to buy in for $4,000, but you're only going to risk $2,000, then just buy in for $2,000, right? And last month I did that. If you remember, I switched up my buy-ins. I was buying in for $2,000 and just taking one stab at it. We did 100% bankroll burn with huge ass bets for the $2,000. Now we're at $4,000, right? I'm going in for half the bankroll and then half the bankroll the second time. I'm taking 2 cracks at it. What I really should be doing, if I'm going to follow those original rules, is going out there at like 3,200 across, or maybe go out there at 4,000 across, right? Put the whole thing out there and draw down the entire bankroll, right? That might be the more appropriate way to do this with the bankroll we have. Otherwise, why buy in for that amount? Like, what's the purpose of having a strong bankroll if you're not going to use it? $4,000 with $25 bets is insanity. So anyway, there we go. That's your comments. That's my thoughts on today out there. It was just a bummer. Just a bummer. JR says, I dislike the YOLO style attack. And it's, let's see, kind of hubris and a sick week overbet followed by a gutless retreat. I vote old school, but respect my rights. It's a great comment. And again, the YOLO thing is this. It's not, no, it's not an adrenaline rush that we do that for, right? It's literally to say the 80% chance you have to win, put your bankroll, the power you've got, put it out there. And I'm a believer. I think of all the gambling stuff we talk about, the thing that I probably lock in on the most is time. The exposure, you can be exposed for a ton of money. You can be exposed for a ton of time, right? I'm more willing to put more money out there for a very short amount of time than to put a little bit of money out there and have to win 1 billion times. I feel like A is better than B in that case. And that's why I like this one better than trying to, right? How many days we out there for 150 rolls, grinding out $100 win, right? When I did the 3-point Molly, for example, that was so boring because it just took so long to just edge out a win. And it felt like the only days we won were the days we won off the bat. I'd rather just win off the bat. So there we go. All right, I'm going to get in here. JR is not a hater. JR is a great guy. I think again, I think some people maybe in chat, you might go, I'm not a fan of that person, but trust me, people People in real life are really awesome people. I think it's hard to get your point across with your fingers sometimes. All right, let's jump into the real meat of the matter today. And this is a lecture that I've given many times. So I apologize for the repeat here. There's actually a great video on my ProCraps channel called Understanding House Edge. And I'm going to repeat some of those concepts today here because I want to keep it kind of short overall, but I want to make sure that we have that. Uh, I guess I can't say it enough, right? I want to cement that in. We got to keep at it because I think the house edge conversation is one that, again, like everything else on the math side, is highly misunderstood. Here we go. Reminder: always keep your goals at the forefront, right? Trust your strategy. Find one that works for you, that you enjoy playing, that accounts for the way you want to win. YOLOing is a way that I want to win right now in the morning show, right? Grinding might be the way that JR wants to win. Totally cool, right? Whatever your strategy is, good. Have the bankroll, though, to account for when it loses. Today's a good example, right? We lost $4,000 today. I've got 30 grand in the bank. I can account for that loss. It sucks. Go back out, and we've got the beef behind us to make it okay, right? And survive that. Your mindset and your discipline is how you connect it and execute. Today, right? We had the right discipline. I did the right moves, right? With the money. I did what I was supposed to do. My mindset going in today was terrible though, right? My mindset was negative. And sometimes negative doesn't make the dice turn on you, but it sure feels like you carry the karma with you sometimes. So, maybe trust your gut a little bit. Anyway, success is determined to me by connecting all that stuff together, right? Your knowledge of the game, your knowledge of trends, your ability to make informed decisions and be smart out there. So, we're working through this math series, right? Gambling 301 is all about the math of the game. And today, this session, we're going to talk through this notion of house edge. And I think that house edge is one of these things, for some reason, I really don't know why, but for some reason, this is one of these topics that people just kind of fight on. And I don't get it. And I think it becomes a gambler versus mathematician kind of argument is where I see this going. And if you watch Facebook or whatever, you'll see that, what should I do on I'm a new player. What should I play? And somebody says, play the lowest house edge bet, pass line and max odds, or don't pass max odds. Somebody else says, it's a sucker bet. ROI is terrible. And you go back and forth on this argument. Well, here's the deal. Every bet has a house edge to it, no matter what they are. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, hold on a second. I have to expand that out. Hang on a minute. I lost my slides here. Hold on a second. What the hell happened? Give me a second here. I gotta change something here. I lost my, nope. Where did it go? Wow. I'm not sure what happened here. All my notes went away for you guys. Wow. There it is. Boy, oh boy, that was brutal. What happened? All right, I'll start from here. I don't know why my slides are all in the wrong order. Anyway, sorry about that. Jeez. Anyway, in talking about the house edge, I think it's misunderstood, and I want to really go over what it is, what it isn't, and how it looks to you with live bets. So I say this. I've said this actually in every single show we've done about the math. And that is this simple statement: the house always wins. And the reasons are obvious, right? They have probabilities on their sides. The odds are on their side because they don't pay you true odds. And here's the manifestation of that, right? The house edge is this. It's the commission. You might call it a tax. You might call it built-in profit, whatever it is that you pay to the house on every win. Now, remember, you're putting up money to lose. So when you lose a bet, you lose the bet. When you win the bet, you win always back less than you should. This is their built-in secret sauce. This is the way that they make money. They take money when you lose and when you win. They shave a little bit off the top, a little bit of grease off the top of every winning bet. What is it? What is the house edge? Well, again, it's a built-in commission. I give this example a lot. I had no problem with the casinos making this commission, by the way. I don't begrudge them this. Every business is in business to make money, right? We are a capitalist society, right? Everything makes, the restaurant makes money, the the food store makes money, everybody makes money, right? That's what we're in business for. And however they determine, the business determines what it's going to use as the metric to make its profit, that's fine. The casinos have a thing called the house edge, right? It's essentially the difference between what you should get paid for a bet and what you actually get paid for a bet. We're going to look at, again, some examples here of what you should be paid versus what's actually paid. Okay. It's based on loosely the probabilities and odds, and that makes it variable. Some bets, the house edge is way bigger than other bets. And again, that's okay. I don't begrudge them that. That's fine. You have to be okay with some things like that. And I give the example later on about a food store, right? And we'll talk about it later, but you don't have to buy ice cream, right? You got to buy milk. And trust me, the profit on milk is tiny in a grocery store. They're making nothing, 1-2% on a gallon of milk, right? The ice cream, they're making 30% on the ice cream. It's a luxury item. They're making nothing at the casino on the come bet, right? Tiny house edge, 6 and 8, tiny house edge. They're getting you on the prop stuff, right? On the horns and all those other bets. That's right. You're making a choice to have ice cream or milk in there, right? That's the thing. The house edge is, it's a way to identify better bets based on ROI. And what does that mean? It means that if you're going to invest $10, you can expect to get back whatever, right? That difference, that delta of what you're not getting back, that's how you can judge a quote unquote good bet. For this investment, I can expect that return. That's a nice thing to use. House edge is a great way to kind of look at a bet and go, that one's really bad, right? It may not matter to you because sometimes you need to make certain bets to kind of cover yourself, right? What the house edge is not is a way to slice it and say, this is a better bet, okay? The best bet in the house, A, one you don't make, but B, the best bet in the house that you do make is the one that wins, right? The house edge has zero to say about how often you're going to win a bet, right? It's not what it's about. It's not about how often a bet will win. It's not a guaranteed way to win, and it's not a way to win more money. It's a way to lose less money over the long stretch of time. That's what house edge becomes. It's a way to lose a little bit less over the long pull of all your bets, okay? And again, it's, to me, simple commission, okay? How it works, very complicated. Here's the math on it. And here's one example of how it works, right? It's basically the probability of the event multiplied by the return of the event. You're getting the probability of, for example, a 6 to come out, as we know, is 5 out of 11, right? You're getting paid 7 to 6 on that, right? That math right there becomes the first part of the formula below. You can see it down here, 5 out of 11 times 7, which is what you get paid on that event. That formula down there is done for every single bet on every single game. It's a lot. If you want more information on that, go to Michael Shackelford's website, The Wizard of Odds. He explains in excruciating detail on some of these pages how the house set is calculated on all these bets. But know this, it's complicated. There's a lot of math behind it, behind what makes it work. And we don't have to know how it works. We just have to know that it exists, and that at some point it's got a draw or some negative impact on you, right? And you have to kind of just play in that world and sort of know that it's happening, okay? I want to run to my table, and I want to give you a couple of examples before I wrap this up. So let me switch screens here and give you a couple of examples with some chips here that'll show us kind of how the calculations work. And what I want to do is I'm going to start out with one of the worst bets, which is the any 7 bet. This is an easy one to really see house edge's impact. So let's take a look at just the 7 in itself, right? There are 6 ways to win, right? 6 ways for a 7. I'll put $6 out there. 6 ways for a 7 to roll. There are 30 ways for it not to roll. You follow me? There's 36 ways to roll the dice in craps. 6 of them are a 7. 30 of them are not a 7. So what's the ratio here? The ratio here is exactly that. It's 5 to 1. That's the ratio of 7s to non-7s. 30 to 6 is 5 to 1. Okay. The odds of a 7 are 5 to 1. Remember that. 5 to 1. This any 7 bet pays, as you can see on my table, 4 to 1. The screw job is obvious on this thing, right? You can see it right there. You should be getting paid 5 to 1. You are getting paid 4 to 1, which means every time this bet wins, you're getting paid $1 less than you should if you're going to get paid by true odds. Now, if you were getting paid the actual $5 every time, what would the impact of that be? Let's take a look at what it should look like first. Okay, here we go. We're going to get paid. Let's say we get out of 36 rolls, we lose this bet 30 times, right? That'll be $30 in losses. I'll put it over here. $30 in losses if you lose that bet 30 times. If you win that bet 6 times and you win the $5 6 times, you would win, guess what? $30. That's the way that it ought to be, right? You think, hey, this is they're right? Get paid by the odds right here. But what business owner as a casino would ever do that? Right? If they gave you even money on every single bet, they'd never make any money. It'd be impossible, right? Over the course of a million rolls, everything would be even. It'd all be even. That's why the house edge exists. They pay you 4 to 1 instead of 5 to 1, so that when you actually win the right number of times, 4 times 6 is $24. There's 20, there's 4. That's what you actually win is $24. The delta here is $6. That's their built-in profit on the any 7 bet. They know that the any 7 bet over time with this house edge is going to be $6. Now, $6 out of 36 just happens to be 16.67%. That is the house edge on that bet, by the way. Okay, that's the delta. This is what they're making on this bet. You're making this bet here, you're giving up that much money over the course of, let's say, 36 trials. Which, you know, if you're at a table and you're betting the any 7 on every single shooter, every single roll, you see 100 rolls, right? You're going to give up this 3 times, $18 or thereabouts, about $20. You're going to give away $20 even if you win the times you're supposed to win. Now, I get it, right? When you've got a don't pass bet out there and you're scared to death of it, right? You want to put, $6 on the any 7 to win $24. I get it. You want to save that bet. You're going, hey, you know what? I'll give up 6 to save 25. Well, over time, that bet gets through how many times? It gets through 30 times. And 6 times you saved it minus $1. But guess what? All those times that you saved it cost you almost a full bet. You're losing $6 every 36 rolls, right? 3 or 4 times into it, you've burned an entire bet just by bleeding house edge and saving it. That's one example of it. We can look at other examples too. And again, let's take a 9. We'll do a 9. 9 is nice and easy. Let's do a $10 9. Okay? We know that the 9 has how many ways to roll? 4 ways to roll. The 7 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways to roll. Right? The odds here, right? 4 to 6 or 3 to 2. Right? 3 to 2 is your odds. 3 to 2 is your odds on the 9 or the 5 rolling. You should be getting paid 3 to 2. And this is not odds of winning. This is the odds, the probability, right? You should be getting paid the true odds 3 to 2. What do you get paid? You're not getting paid $15 on that 9, are you? What are you getting paid? You're getting paid $14. Guess what? That dollar belongs to the house. That's the built-in profit on that particular bet. So instead of getting paid the 15 you should be getting paid, you're getting paid $14. And every time you win a 9 bet, you're basically dropping $1 to you're saying, hey, thanks for the $15. Here's $1 for you. Every time that bet wins, that's what actually is happening behind the scenes. You probably don't realize that, right? But if they did that, what if they paid you like this? What if they actually paid you like this? Every time they got paid, they gave you $15 and you had to give them $1 every single time to earn the $15. It cost you $1 every time to do that. So you don't have to keep dishing money in every single time. It's built into the payment. They build a profit into the payment. You can throw $1 in to make 14 look like 15, but you're still getting paid the same $14. You follow me on that? So that's the way house edge plays out on those numbers. And again, if you play this out over the course of time, right? You should win. We can do it in simple terms here, right? You would win in our little example here. The right way would be to win 15 bucks twice, right? And lose 10 bucks 3 times, which would be minus 10, minus 10, minus 10. Guess what? It's a tie game. Again, no casino is going to be able to make money if it's a tie game. So they have to do it to where you're going to lose 30 bucks and you're only going to win 28. If it all works out the way it should, 3-2, you're going to lose 30, you're going to win 28, you gave them $2. That's house edge. This is exactly how every bet on the table works. Some of them are 1,000 times worse than others, right? You look at some of these bets down in here, and they're just so much worse than they could be, right? What you should be getting paid versus what you do get paid. Look at the 11, right? The yo bet, right? What does the yo bet pay? 15 bucks, right? What is the probability of an 11 coming out? It's 2 out of 36. It's 1 out of 18, right? The 11 should pay you 18 to 1. What does it pay you? It pays you 15 to 1. Wow. That's a huge, that's the ice cream right there. That is the Snickers bar versus the Bueno bar right there. That's a name brand difference right there. 18 bucks, what you should be getting, right? That thing pays twice like it should, right? You're getting paid 15 instead of 18. Guess what? You're going to get paid 30 bucks twice. You're going to lose that dollar how many times? You're going to lose that dollar 34 times. Right? Guess what you gave up? You gave up $4. That's ridiculous, right? But it's okay. I say it's ridiculous, but it's okay. These bets down here are way worse for you than these bets up here. Than the pass line bet for sure, which has a 1% tiny house edge. The 6 and 8 tiny house edge. Look at the difference of the 5 and 9 versus the 6 and 8. The 6 and 8, we just do it at $6, right? Again, here's the house edge here. You're going to win that bet $6. You're going to win $7. How many times? Right? You should win that bet 5 times. 7 times 5 is $35. That's what you should win. Okay. What are you going to lose? You're going to lose $6 6 times, $36. So on the 6 and 8 for a $6 bet, you're giving up $1 over the course of the entire thing. The 5 and 9, remember we gave up $4 over the whole thing? Here we're giving up $1 over the course of the whole thing. So when this thing plays out the way it should play out, or I'm sorry, $2 over. You're giving up $2 over the course. Here you're giving up 1 over the course. So anyway, I'm sorry, it is $4 when you do it not reduced. When you do the actual four wins, it's $4 here versus $1 here. So it's interesting, right? To see how, and let me do that again with the 9. Just only to see it again with the full exposure here, right? The 9, 5 pays 7, right? 5 pays 7. We'll do it side by side. So on the 6, you're losing $1, right? On the 9 or the 5, it pays $7. Let's get that paid right. $7. You're going to pay $7 4 times. $28 in wins. You're going to lose that $5. You're going to lose that $5. Is that right? You're going to pay 7 4 times 28. You're going to lose that 30 times, right? 5 times 6 is 30. You're down $2. So the same number of outcomes, the 5 or the 9 cost you $2. You're going to win 28. You're going to lose 30. Your delta's 2. On the 6 and 8, you're going to win 35, and you're going to lose 36. Delta's 1. Same results, right? The same 36 rolls. Everything happens as it should. The 5 and 9 cost you more money than the 6 and 8 if they win and lose at the right rate. See how that works? That's why they say the 5 and 9 are shitty bets compared to 6 and 8. This is why. This is exactly the reason why that happens to you. So anyway, I think it's good to see kind of how that actually works in real life. Your deltas are $2 and $1 on the 6, 8, 5, and 9. Again, look at what you should get paid versus what you do get paid, and that delta is the dollars that are attached to the percentage of the house edge. And I probably should have done that with the other microphone. So anyway, I'll have to re-record that for later. Let's go back over here. Let's go back over to here and turn that light off. And I gotta remember to switch mics. I have two mics in the room now, and I gotta remember to switch which one's active. So I'll fix that up. Anyway, all that to be said, okay, let's go over here and ask ourselves why we care about that. Why do you care about the house edge? Well, you can see that you're giving up a spiff, right, on every single bet, right? But I don't care about it, right? I care a little bit, but it's a fact. Profit's a fact of life, right? We know businesses make profit. They're allowed to, right? There's nothing wrong with that. We always do this, right, folks? We buy more house than we need, right? We drive nicer cars than we need to, right? We drink better whiskey than we should. We eat ice cream and filet mignon. Okay. We could grow our own food, cook our own food every day. But what do? We dine out, we grab fast food, we do things that burn and bleed money because we enjoy them, right? It's easier, right? The restaurant is allowed to make money. I was a chef for many years, right? We have a thing called food cost. It's the way that we calculate the cost of goods, the food that we buy, our staffing needs, and we run a formula on that. And it says that dish, if you want to make X profit, should cost $36.50, right? It's a formula. Every restaurant has the same formula. Their food cost determines their profit. Every grocery store bakes a profit into every single item on the shelves. Nothing there is a zero-sum game. It's okay to make profit. The casinos are allowed to do it. They're in business. It's fine. I don't really care, right? But I'm aware of it. I'm not going to go to the store every day and only buy prime steak, and I'm not going to only buy ice cream. Just like on the craps table, I'm not going to only play the hops because I'm giving up way too much on those things, right? Just be aware of it. Be aware of where it goes. And I think that's why I think we have to care, okay? So all of that stated, understand the house edge. You don't have to let it be a wedge in your heart. You don't got to let it drive your life. You have to know that it exists, know how it's calculated, and just be fully in the moment and aware of what's happening out there. Okay. Tomorrow in our next session, I'm going to talk about the impact of the house edge. So today this is just what it is. Today I want to give you kind of a top-down look at like what this animal is. How's it kind of calculated, and what does it look like with actual money? Tomorrow, I want to dive in a little bit past my feet and up to my knees maybe. And let's take a look at what that I just showed you right there. What does it look like over many rolls? And we've all seen many rolls. And I'll give you food for thought, okay? In my life, I've been playing crap since I was 21 years old. I'm 55 right now. So what is that, 35 years or whatever the hell it is, right? Playing for a long time, like many of you have. Jacob out here in the audience, right? Jacob, let me ask you a question right now. I'm going to put your name up here so you're called out, okay? How many times in your life have you bet the 5? And how many times have you won on the 5? Just stew on that for a minute. How many times have you won a bet on the 5 since you started playing this game? Okay. And look at what we just saw there, right? We know that every time the 5 resolves one set of 36 rolls, right? Whenever you have, let's say 10 resolutions, you lose or you win, you're giving up that $2 just on a $5 bet, right? Every time. I'm telling you what, I am certain I have won 1,000 times on the 5 in my life. Easily, probably double that, maybe triple that in 30 years of playing, right? Easily I've won 1,000 times on the 5. Okay. Every time I've won the bet, I've had to give them a freaking dollar, as you just saw. Think about that. If you've won in your life 1,000 bets on the 5 or the 9, you've given away $1,000, right? Easily 3,000, right? Even at $5 level, you're giving up money. Right? I showed it at 10 because the 10 makes the number round. $5 is 50 cents, right? $10 5, that bet won 1,000 times. Poof, $1,000 goes away. That's the impact of the house edge. It's a real thing. It's not like you can't not care about it completely. You have to be aware of it and know the decisions that you're making. But that's what happens, right? If you're getting paid true, that $1,000 would be back in your pocket, but it's not. It goes to them, and it's fine. Like I said, they're a business. That's how they make money. This is what they do to make money, and it's all good. All right. I think I'm going to go Yeah, Waylon, of course, I've done that too, right? I've been plenty of tables like that in my life, for certain. So let me go, I'm going to go rewind up here and get to some questions. I got to change my whole screen up because I screwed up my whole video today. I don't know what, I got to refilm this. You know what I do, by the way, is I take these morning shows, right, where we're talking about the edge and whatever the topic of the day is. I take these things out and I slice out this like lecture period and I put those up on the ProCraps channel as a separate shorter video. Some days I nail it and I have a great lecture, right? And some days like today, it was a shit show. I got everything all over. I messed up my cameras. I messed up my mic. I got to go refilm the whole thing. So it's a good video, but hopefully the points that got made today were solid and that they resonate with you. I think all of us have this, we should have a relationship with your money, right? You should love your money very much. Give it a big old hug and just realize where it's going. Okay, I'm not telling you not to make bets that have a high house edge. I'm telling you be aware that when you make those bets, the amount you win is far less than you think it ought to be. Okay, and in fact, when you do the math, the real math of this thing, hopping a bet in craps that pays 30 to 1 is the same probability, roughly speaking, right? We're 36 to 1 probability of winning that bet. On a roulette table, it's 38 to 1. It pays $35. You might as well go play roulette. Just hop random numbers in roulette. Better than hopping numbers in craps. And house edge should tell you that, right? That 16% edge versus a 5% edge is no small thing. So just know that. And Jacob says this is why you play with profit, right? Again, I'll talk about this. This is a great point for tomorrow. The impact of the house edge is, to me, nullified. I know mathematically it's not, but it feels nullified when you're playing from profit. If I buy in for $100 and I bet $10 and I give away $1, it sucks because that came out of my ATM machine, my actual ATM machine. If I win $10, if I play $10 and I win $14 and I've got profit in the rack, the next $14 I win, I don't care. That I did pay the dollar, right? The house edge still got impacted on that bet. It doesn't go away, but it didn't come out of my pocket directly. So the impact of that is lessened. And that's going to be, again, a big part of tomorrow's talk. So good. Glad you brought that up, Jacob. That's awesome. Thanks, Dan, for that. Great lecture, but my microphone, I forgot to turn the microphone on. So you couldn't hear a thing when I was at the table, which sucked. And I had to go fishing around for my slides. So I'm going to refilm it. What a dum-dum. Some days, you know what? I woke up today in a foul mood. Lost a bunch of money in the garage, came in here and did a bad show. You know what? I think it's time for me to go to work. And guess what's happening at work today, right? Today, my class has their final exam. I get to proctor a final exam and I am in a mood. I am in a mood today. So good luck to my students, huh? Right? All right. Anything else you want to give me a check for cues for questions here? And then I'll check for PCs. Jen agrees. Get it done. Go out strong, get it done quick, or Band-Aid, take it off. Paycheck play might be the way to go. Long-term play with friends play, not YOLOing when I'm playing with you all. I will not do that in front of you. All right, let's see. What is the min wins I want on a $15 table? That depends on the goal, right? If my goal's $100, right, you're looking for what, 4 or 5 wins, right? And be okay with that, right? It's hard to be okay with it. Like, I will do, like, you've all seen me play tier pressure, right? 96 across, 3 hits, $100, right? It's a full press, and I'm out, $100, right? If you're okay with that amount of win, that's a good way to get in and get out. It's kind of a YOLO. It's a 3-roll YOLO. It's fine, right? If you're not goal oriented, we talk about this a lot. If I don't have a goal, I'm just out there cycling bets forever, you're going to get what you get, which is your ass kicked. Let's see. Gary says, don't worry about the show. Go back to bed. That's funny. I should have went back to bed today. It was terrible. Waylon says, the only way to beat house debt is to walk when you're in profit. No matter how small or how big the win is, be satisfied. We talk about satisfaction all the time. I can't wait for Gambling 401 for that series to start when we get into like how to win, right? All this run up has been like, get your mind right was Gambling 101. Get your money right, Gambling 201. get the math understood. Gambling 301, gambling 401 is going to take all that stuff and let's learn how to win with it. And sometimes learning how to win is simple as learning how to freaking walk when you got it, right? Recognizing satisfaction level, right? Goal was 900, 835. Bye-bye. That's the Wayland way, right? That's the Wayland way. All right. Arcades, I have to buy. I do too. You know what's funny, man? You guys know I'm diabetic, and my wife is giving up now. She's like, whatever, dude. She's like, I have this like number I got to stick to every day. I'm supposed to eat like 60 carbs a day or whatever it is. And she's like, I'm going to buy you ice cream because you're going to bitch until you get it. Right. And I do. I bitch until I get ice cream because I love it. I love brownies. I love my cake. I love my donuts, but I'm also the guy like, and I'm not lying to you here. You guys think I'm full of shit, but I'm the guy that you probably all hate when you buy like a box of donuts, or we buy these crumble cookies, right? I cut them in fourths. I always cut my donuts into fourths, or I cut my cookies into fourths, and I eat a fourth of the cookie throughout the day. I get a cookie a day, but I don't wolf the whole thing down at one shot. She gets so pissed off at me for leaving half cookies in the box. That just makes, now I do it because it makes her mad. Ice cream. She can buy me a thing of ice cream, the big old thing of Breyers, and I'll make that big whatever that is of Breyers last 2 weeks. I can make that thing a spoonful, twice a day is what I'm into. I just need the taste of it, just the taste. There we go. According to the math guys, the best bet is no bet for sure. Micro Gambler says, be fair to say that House Edge and EV are the same thing. Essentially, yes. The expected value of a bet is the amount that you're upside down on a bet. EV is not about winning. It's your expected value. So if you are betting the 5, your EV on that 5 is a negative, right? It's a negative. In that case, I showed you that you're giving that buck up. It's the percentage that dollar represents off that bet. It's 1% of $15. That's where the House Edge comes from. That's how it's calculated. So yes. Yeah, I know you couldn't hear me. I didn't change my stupid microphone. Yes, I'm 55. You didn't know I was 55? I'm every bit of 55. Born in 1968. I'm not trying to say don't gamble. What I am saying is this: only gamble. Let me make that my final thought. You should only be gambling. And hopefully Waylon and Jacob are still here. I want you to weigh in on this word. Only be gambling. What does that mean? That means I've got that money set aside. We talked about the 401g account. I got money put aside that came from maybe some gambling wins. Maybe it came from 401k bonus. Maybe it came from or a work bonus. Maybe it came from a side job, right? I got this extra dough over here, right? I'm not trying to live on that. Some people might be. I'm not trying to live on that. What I'm doing with that money is putting it at risk to make more, right? Put it at risk. Maybe I win $1,000 and I can go out and buy myself a new monitor. Maybe I win $1,000 and put it back in the bank so I can buy in for $2,000 next time. Maybe I win $1,000 so I can go pay for a cruise with it, right? That's gambling. I don't give a shit about that money. If I lose it, it would suck. And I get mad when I lose it because I don't like losing money, but it isn't like I lost the money and now I can't eat. You know what I'm saying? Gamble, only gamble with money that you can afford to lose, but only be gambling. Don't go out there and treat it like it's a job, right? If you're going out there to go to the casino to make money so you can pay the rent or make money so you can eat, that's not gambling. That's something completely different. That's degeneracy. Be careful about that. Only gamble is the word I'm going to use here. I know it sounds weird for me to say, but only ever gamble, right? You're putting it at risk to have some fun, make some extra dough. Shouldn't be any more than that. All right, I'm out of here, guys. I'm out of here. Y'all have a great day. Let me see. Last final comments. Yeah, in my rack, there is no house money. It's my money. You know what? I told you this one time. I'm going to show you something. Can I, do I have time? I do. I have 3 minutes. I want to show you something really quick because Arcades says this about playing with profit versus playing with house money. I want to give you a quick example, and don't ever forget, this might be a great YouTube short. Here we go. I'm going to switch my screen again one more time. We're going to put the light on, and I'm going to switch my microphone to the right one. Here we go. Ready for this? Here we go. This is my example about what it means to play with house money versus profits. And I want people say house money. The casino does do some pretty nefarious things, right? They kind of screw with you. Here we go. Let's put this out. Let's put out a bet on the 8. Okay, here's the $30 8. All right, now, I love this example. $30 8. It pays $35, right? We know this. And they'll give it to you like this, and you'll put it in your rack. You're like, yeah, baby. You know what? Press it. You'll say, press it to $60. A lot of us do that, right? Boom, full press $60. No big deal. That's house money right there. That's house. You look at that. That's house money. But remember, money out there is yours. If they did this, let me ask you this question, and I want you to be honest with me in chat. Be honest with me in chat. Okay? If that bet paid $35 and you said press it like you do, what if they did this? What if they said that pays $35 and they went like that? What if they returned the bet to you? Would you then say, I'm going to keep 10 or 5 and put $60 bet? Would you give them back $60? Right? The visual of that should be really impactful, everybody, right? They pay you your winnings only and leave your bet out there, number one. Okay? It makes it easy for you and for them to make the move, number two, and you're left with this. If they actually gave you your money back and your winnings, would you turn right around and say, yeah, put that all back out there again? That's what pressing actually is. Okay? This right here is playing with profits. Right? I got my money back. I got money in the rack, and I'm playing with house money, with profit. That is your money. Okay? But pretend that it all comes back and you got to put it back out again. If you had to make that move every time you won a bet, you'd bet a whole lot differently. I can guarantee you. I guarantee you, I'll bet every one of you. I'll fight you all right now. I'll fight you all right now. I'm on the wrong screen here. Not one of you would have a $600 6 out there after 5 6s. Not one of you would do it. Maybe Steve Halton would do it. Not one of you. After every time you took all the money off the table and had to put it all back out there, would go, yeah, let's put $600 out there. You'd never freaking do it. But they make it so easy to do. They make it so easy to do because you just press. You forget what the hell's out there, right? Think about that. That's an important point to make. I made this point about 2 years ago, and I forget to do that all the time. That's such an important thing to remember. If they gave you it all back, you'd never put it back. You'd never put it back out again. Not one of you would do it. Not one of you would do that. But we all do it because pressing is easy and it feels like the right thing to do. Remember that. If you remember nothing I ever say, remember that. With that said, it's school time. I'm out of here. Y'all have a great rest of your Thursday. Wish me luck. Tomorrow's going to be a better day in the garage. Love every one of you. Have a great rest of your Thursday. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.